Hello, if you are watching this video, then you've probably either bought or are thinking of buying a Barrington Watch Winder and are curious about some of the features. Hopefully I can help you see how it works. So let's begin. We'll start with the cushion. The cushion is held securely in the winder, and to remove it, you just have to pull it out with sufficient force to get past the clip. Once out, you can wrap your watch around it like this, with the back of the watch on the main pad and the watch face facing out. I find it helps to compress the watch cushion first, slip your watch over the handles like I've just done, and then release the compression so that your watch is held securely but not too tightly. You want it securely on the cushion, but you don't want it flopping around as it rotates. To put the watch in the rotator, simply push it back in, like so, and feel it securely locked in. Getting your watch comfortably on the cushion is really important, and there are two things that can help with that. Firstly, the cushion is spring-loaded, and you can click it in and out to make it larger or smaller as required. It can also be in between either setting, and this is really good to hold your watch in place securely. The second thing is that it has a detachable part at the back. This can slide on or off just like this and be reinserted at a different level to make the overall cushion smaller or larger as you require. We find that at its smallest setting, with the cushion fully compressed, it accommodates a wrist circumference of 16.5 centimetres, which is 6.5 inches. And at its largest setting, with the cushion fully extended, it suits wrist circumference of up to 21.5 centimetres, which is 8.5 inches. Remember, these measurements are approximate and will depend on the style of the watch. For wrist sizes smaller than 16.5 centimetres, which is 6.5 inches, we have the micro cushion. This locks into the winder just like the standard cushion, but due to its softer design at the back, it accommodates wrist sizes from 12.5 centimetres, just 5 inches, up to 16.5 centimetres, which is 6.5 inches. All of our winders are shipped with standard cushions by default, but if you think you need the smaller ones, then just let us know. If you're unsure which cushions you need, just give us a call to discuss. And if you do purchase the incorrect cushion size, then don't worry at all. We'll swap them out for the correct size at no cost to you. If you've purchased one of our multi-watch winders, then you will have noticed that it has a fingerprint sensor here. Let's talk about how to use this. When you first get the winder, it should be set so that the unit door opens without requiring a fingerprint. However, you can set it so that it only opens with a specific fingerprint, and to do so, follow these steps. Firstly, place your finger on the sensor for about 6 seconds until the light flashes blue 3 times. Then remove and replace your finger several times. You'll see that the light flickers blue after each time you place your finger on it, and that's a signal to remove and replace your finger. Once the light becomes a solid blue, then your fingerprint has been set, and as it's the first fingerprint to be stored, it is an administrator fingerprint. If the light around the sensor flickers red, then something has gone wrong and you need to restart the process. If you now try to open the winder with another finger, the light will flash red to indicate that it isn't a stored fingerprint and that access is not available. Only when you use the specific finger you stored will the unit open. Once you see the light flash blue and hear it unlock, simply pull the door open as normal. You can actually store up to 20 fingerprints in your Barrington Watch Winder. I find it really useful to have more than one of my fingers registered or to have a family member's finger registered. And here is how you can store extra fingerprints. It's a similar process to the first one in that you start by holding your new finger on the sensor until it flashes blue 3 times. And then remove your finger from the sensor and it will briefly flash pink. Place the administrator finger on the sensor and the light will flash pink again. Then place a new finger on the sensor repeatedly with the light flickering blue to confirm each touch. After about 6 touches, the light will illuminate solid blue to confirm the fingerprint has been registered. Adding up to a further 18 fingerprints works in the same way, and in fact, the first 2 fingerprints you store are counted as administrators, so either one can be used to approve the new fingerprints. You may also need to delete fingerprints at some point, but please note you can only delete all fingerprints and start again. You can't delete individual ones. To delete all fingerprints, hold any finger to the sensor for about 12 seconds. In this time, you'll see the sensor light flash blue 3 times and then red 3 times. Then immediately place an administrator fingerprint 2 times with the sensor briefly turning pink on each touch to confirm. The light will then flash blue to confirm all fingerprints have been deleted. You can now open the door using any fingerprint. Some customers prefer to disable the fingerprint lock completely and just let the door open and close without the need for any fingerprint. So if you'd like to disable the fingerprint lock, here is how. Firstly, delete all fingerprints as I have just shown. Then open the winder using any fingerprint, but within the first second of it being opened, turn the power off at the back. You need to be quick here, so you might not get it the first time. However, once you have done it, leave the winder turned off for 5 seconds and then turn it on again. The lock should now be disabled and the door will open and close without the need for a fingerprint at all. For the last section of this instructional video, we are going to cover some basic operations of the winder. Let's start with setting the clock. Setting the clock can only be done via the LCD screen and not via the remote. To begin the process, press and hold the button for the light. On some older models, you might need to press the stop-start button instead. Hold this for about 2 seconds until the colon between the hours and the minutes of the clock stops flashing. When this happens, it means that you can change the time. Use the left arrow to change the hour and use the right arrow to change the minute. Once you've got the correct time, then simply press the light button again and the time is set. With the time set, you are ready to start programming your winder. The operation is really pretty simple, but here are some basic tips. Use the left and right arrow to select the rotor that you want. And once you've done that, you can then press the turns per day button to select the number of turns per day that you would like your rotor to complete. You can then also press the direction button, clockwise, counterclockwise, or bidirectional, and this will decide the direction of your rotor to move. Please note that if you choose the bidirectional setting, this means that your winder will do half the amount of turns in each direction. You are not doubling it up. Once you have programmed the first rotor, then simply use the left and the right arrows to select your next rotor and repeat the process. Remember that your Barrington Watch Winder allows you to choose a different program for each rotor. If you're not sure of the best settings for your watch, then please just check the turns per day database on our website or contact us directly for any guidance at all. So that completes this introductory tutorial into using your Barrington Watch Winder, and I really hope it was helpful. There are some features that we didn't get to cover, but you will find these in the instruction manual that came with your winder, so please do browse through that. And of course, if you have any questions or queries at all, then just reach out to our friendly customer service team. They are always available to help. The best way to reach us is either via email or on the phone during UK office hours. The contact details are on your screen now. Thank you so much for your attention, and bye for now.